Welcome to Walking with J.Beau, an almost daily walking vlog on this October 29th, 2024. We are officially 7 days away from the election. 1 week. Got a few things to talk about today, nothing major besides what's known already. A couple of exciting things going on though. We'll get into that up ahead here a little bit. People get some Halloween decor out. It is overcast and it is cool. It's about 42 degrees. Not windy today, thankfully. But it definitely is chilly. I'm going to do a basic 5-miler today. Be about an hour and 20, something like that. It's going to be dark in 2 hours, a little past 6 o'clock. So we'll get the walking in now before it gets dark. Supposed to have some rain tomorrow. Then Thursday it is going to be unseasonably warm. It's going to be almost 80 degrees here. Unheard of for the end of October. It's going to be even warmer than that in New York. It's going to be in the low 80s, mid 80s. Pretty interesting. As we see the pavement work that I put in here. Nice new sidewalk for me to walk on. Nice to see my tax dollars panning out. So anyway, we'll walk on up ahead here. I'll flip the camera around at some point. Hey. So we'll mosey on down the road. Hope everybody's having a beautiful week. God is good. Hope everybody is saying their prayers for Pennsylvania corruption. We need to intercede through prayer to save Pennsylvania from corrupt ballots and voting, and for it to be exposed like we saw with the fraudulent voter registrations in Lancaster County, that has about 360,000 people. They found thousands of fake voter registrations because it's not illegal there to pay people for signatures. And these canvassing companies were going out for the Kamala campaign, presumably, and acquiring fake voter registrations, which is a crime, and forging signatures, using stolen data. They also had incorrect Social Security numbers, and basically just a whole bunch of fake voter registrations. Now, on the surface, you may think, well, maybe they are, on the surface, you may think, I bet you I found somebody that just lost their phone. Make sure I give them the right one. Oh, there we go. I didn't film that. I forgot. I'm sorry. I just found somebody's cell phone and was returning it to the woman. The kid dropped their phone. I just wanted to make sure that I gave them their phone and not mine. I don't want to give my phone to somebody by accident. So, anyways, people are losing their phones lately. That's the second cell phone I find this week. The other cell phone I found, I was not able to return it. And so I'm going to keep it. I wasn't able to access it to get any information, find out who it belongs to. They didn't leave any information on the lock screen. On my phone, I have an email address that shows up on the lock screen in case if somebody finds it, they can email me. So maybe that's something you might want to do. So anyway, I looked up the cell phone I found this week, and you can buy one for $30 at Walmart. It was a blue phone, B-L-U. So not a huge loss for somebody. So anyway, I kept that phone. I have no way to return it. So anyway, I erased everything that's on it and I did a factory refresh on it. So whatever, they're out $30, so I'll have to go buy another phone. Anyways, we're walking along here. It looks like they're done making the road here. You can see there's about a 3-inch, 4-inch thickness or so of new road that they added. So we're going to walk along here. Probably going to edit out returning the phone to that woman and that kid because YouTube can be kind of funky about having video or photos of kids without their permission, and I don't want to deal with that crap. And beside that, I don't even think the camera was pointed at them when I was doing that, because I forgot I was filming. So not a big deal. So what I was getting to with the election, I gotta flip the camera. I'm gonna flip it. Hi everybody. As you can see, it is definitely cooler today, and we're walking along. Turn this. There we go. So President Trump is doing a rally tonight, Pennsylvania. I think it's in Allentown, like the Billy Joel song. And so I just got the woman in my ear screaming at me. We've gone 1 mile since I started the app anyway. I was walking before that. But anyway, Trump has scheduled a rally for Virginia, Salem, Virginia, for October 2nd, November 2nd, not October 2nd. So that's big. Why is that big? That's big because Virginia is in play for Trump, if you can believe that. A couple of the new polls said that Trump is within the margin of error. True. This is the same state. This is the same state that was safely tucked into the win column for Kamala and Joe Biden just 2 months ago. So since Kamala has come out talking and doing interviews, she's collapsed. She's imploded. And if you're familiar with my walks, I said she's about as interesting as watching cardboard. So this was inevitable. She doesn't know how to speak. She's not an intelligent person. I'm not saying it because she's a woman. That's the first assumption. Oh, you just don't like her because she's a woman. No, she's dumb. She's stupid. She's a dumb person. She's a puppet. She's a plant. She's staged, fraud, phony, directed, whatever other word you want to stick in there. She's a useful idiot. She's a puppet. Now Biden, on the other hand, when he was sharp, was a good speaker. She's just not a good speaker, and she doesn't take it seriously. Trump has been working and campaigning every day for 59 days straight. Kamala's had a couple days off. I think she's going to be taking another one soon. It's like, really? How bad do you want to win? So, people need to pay attention to that stuff. Just vote for Trump. Just vote for Trump, okay? The rest of the planet's going to vote for Trump. Right now, things are banging really good for Trump. Really good. Really well. Whichever correct English you want to use today. As we see a Trump sign behind me that we're walking by. Seeing more Trump signs than I've ever seen here. I think I mentioned that. All right, now for the big news. I'll wait until I get across this intersection. Hot off the presses today, and it's been confirmed. Okay, it's been confirmed, so I'm not spreading misinformation. Get across over here. See the signs across the street there. We got Trump ones mixed in. So, what's the big news? Well, the big news is North Carolina. I'm gonna walk through this. The big news is North Carolina. The Kamala campaign, you ready for this? They're pulling $2 million worth of ads in North Carolina. They're pulling up stakes, and they're giving up on North Carolina. This is obviously huge news. So their internal polling, remember I've talked to you about internal polling and regular polling. The irregular polling being from media companies trying to skewer public opinion as opposed to the actual real polls. So Kamala has given up on North Carolina. She is going to invest that ad revenue in Virginia. So that tells you what you need to know. Right there, in plain English, as in money. So now they're going to be buying ads in Virginia because Trump is threatening Virginia. And let me tell you something, make no mistake, if Trump wins Virginia, he's winning all the other Rust Belt states. This much is obvious, or else the Kamala campaign wouldn't care. So, what does this mean? Well, this means that Kamala's in trouble, and they know it. Because remember I told you, Trump's leading in the public polls, the polls for public consumption, that always skewer away from Trump. Unfairly, but Trump's leading in Arizona. He's got a 1-point lead in Nevada. He has a pretty good lead in Georgia and also North Carolina, which Kamala has now given up. So, I also heard that soon she's going to be giving up Nevada as well, with no hope of winning it. And realistically, Nevada is 6 points. It's worth a lot, but I don't think it's going to give anybody a win. Kamala needs it more than Trump does. The way the Electoral College is for Trump, these 6 points in Nevada don't really matter. But it would be nice if he won there anyway. Right now, it is looking damn good for Trump. Cannot get complacent, have to stay hungry, have to remain the underdog, keep that mentality, gotta go vote. None of this happens if people think we won already and they don't go vote. And my brother was telling me about that in a text today. You know, Fox News needs to stop talking about landslides. People think it's all over, they're not going to go vote. Which is probably what Fox News wants. Fox News is not friends with Trump. I don't care how they make it look. They're doing that for ratings. The board management hates Trump. All of them. Paul Ryan has publicly said Trump is a dictator, he's this and that. And he used to be the Republican Speaker of the House when Trump was elected. And he lied to Trump and deceived him. And we didn't get stuff passed we wanted to, like the wall. Paul Ryan talked him out of it. They focused on tax cuts first, then the wall later, and then he abandoned Trump on the wall. And then in 2018, Democrats got the House. So Paul Ryan lied to him. Trump knows he was lied to last time. And, you know, he thought he could just win an election, go do what's right, be a good person, do the best job you can, and the American dream would just take care of itself. And he found out how rotten DC is, how corrupt, how evil. And speaking of which, Steve Bannon got out of jail today, or yesterday. He's the one that refused to testify in Pelosi's Democrat court about January 6th. He refused to testify on principle. He said it was unconstitutional. I'm not going to do it. You're on a witch hunt. Knowing full well that they were going to prosecute him, which they did, and they found him guilty. He got 18 months. Some of the sentence was reduced, I think, for some reason. But anyway, he did 4 months. And he got out yesterday, and now he's broadcasting just before the election. He's very popular with conservatives on web streaming, and he's ripping it up today. So anyway, just thought I'd let you know that. And I'll wait for this car to get out of here. So with that, we have a really good shot at the election because, and I don't mean this figuratively, okay? I mean literally. Kamala Harris has to win Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. She has to win all 4 of those and not lose Virginia. She loses Virginia, there's no way she can win. She'll have no path to win at all if she doesn't win all 4 of those Rust Belt states and Virginia too. So now she's starting to look like she has to win 5 states, and Trump doesn't. If Trump wins Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, like it looks like he's going to, people seem to expect that. Even the person that hates Trump the most will have to admit that. Of course, you know, Kamala's got a chance for each one of those, make no mistake. Nothing's over until it's over. But you'd rather be in the position Trump is right now, for sure. Because if Trump wins Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, he just needs one single Rust Belt state. It can be Wisconsin, and lose Michigan and Pennsylvania, lose Minnesota. He just needs one. He has to get over 270. So right now, as it is, if he gets Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, he's got 262 electoral college votes of the 270 he needs to win. So Michigan is 16 points, I believe. Pennsylvania is 19. Wisconsin is 10. And Virginia is 13. So when you're at 262 and you only need 8 electoral college votes, obviously Nevada is not important because it's just going to give you 268. See what I'm saying? That's why I said it's not important to Trump, electoral college wise. Now, if the electoral college map was different and he got 2 more electoral college votes, let's say by winning Maine or winning Nebraska outright, because Nebraska splits their points also, their electoral college votes, like Maine does. It's the only 2 states that do that. Then Nevada would be more important, but right now, win or lose Nevada doesn't really help them. So, but don't tell the people in Nevada that. We want them to go vote. Because of the Senate and Congress, things like that. So anyway, what does that mean? Well, it means if Kamala Harris just gave up on North Carolina, that means they know Trump's going to win it in all likelihood, and they're going to invest their money in Virginia. And because of what I just told you about Nevada, I think Kamala's going to pull her money out of Nevada too, because now it has changed for her without North Carolina. You follow? This all has to do with the electoral college vote, which you can go to 270 to win if you want to follow. They have a interactive map there. So that's the numbers 270 and then to win, TOWIN.com. You can go there. It has an interactive map with the electoral college slates. And it already preloads with the toss-ups blank. So the states that matter are left blank, and you can fill it in yourself just to play around with it, do different scenarios, and you'll quickly see what I'm talking about. So anyway, with that being said, if Trump wins Virginia, none of those other states are going to matter. because that means Trump will have won Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia too. Virginia's got 13 electoral college votes. That would give Trump, let's see, 262, 75, 275 electoral college votes. He would be elected president. So either way, as the days go on towards the election, it's getting more and more grim for Kamala. And what did I say almost 2 months ago? Huh? Come on, tell me. I said the experts are going to say the polls are tightening. And what did I say? They're not. Trump is actually going to gain, and she's going to go down like a stone. I did say that. I did. I have it recorded and uploaded for you to watch on Fast Walks. So I'm happy to see that. The real question is, has Trump gone up and her down, or has just Trump gone up? Either way, he's improved in the polls, regardless. So, this is turning into a very interesting bunch of events going on. Very exciting. These are the things I was waiting for. Remember I told you a few days ago, I gotta wait 2-3 more days, watch what goes on, watch what Kamala's campaign does before I form a solid opinion about Trump winning. Because you can feel good about it. You can say, geez, he's doing good, but do the numbers actually back it up? You know, how much of it is, I don't want to be somebody that's a homer. My team always wins. They're always the greatest, even when they do something dumb and lose. I don't want to be one of those guys. As I put it before, one of those guys that blames the referees for the loss. Of course, the referees can lose a game, make no mistake, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. So, things are banging on pretty good cylinders. Trump had a great rally, Madison Square Garden, minus the comedian making Hispanic Puerto Rican jokes. Actually, that would be Portuguese, I believe. But the usual people that hate Trump already, that are Portuguese, were upset, and the ones that don't hate Trump were not upset. But what I'm really concerned with is the amount of stuff that goes on that has to do with first of all, it wasn't Trump that made the remarks. He's not the one that called Puerto Rico that island of floating garbage out in the Atlantic. That was a comedian. And he's a comedian that made a name for himself for making fun of everybody. He makes fun of white people. He's a comedian, okay? He's one of those edgy ones. He makes fun of gay people, straight people, married people, single people, black people, Asians, whites. He's just a comedian. So, should he have been scheduled for this event? Probably not. Somebody in the Trump campaign, they shouldn't have done that. I mean, the guy is popular and it's going to get a lot of people to watch. I don't know the guy's name. I really don't. But he roasted Tom Brady pretty hard one night. All these really nasty white jokes, and the guy's crude, okay? But they should have run the jokes by the campaign before he went out there, I guess is my point. So somebody dropped the ball on that. I don't think it'll cost them any Puerto Rican votes. I don't think it'll cost them any Hispanic votes. I really don't. The vote Trump has to worry about, and we have to be honest about it, is women. Female vote. Specifically, the 30 and under. The 30 and under crowd, females of all races, all, white, Hispanic, whatever, they fucking hate Trump. They hate him. They have been programmed. But a lot of it too is the liberal mindset is already easy to program like that. So how many of those are independents that would vote for Trump? We're going to find out if that really makes a huge difference on election day. I'm expecting that that's Kamala's best voting base right now. Black men don't like her, Hispanic men don't like her, white men don't like her. So she's not doing well with the men. The men are voting for Trump. So it might balance out. We'll have to wait and see. But the way I look at it is Trump has gained with blacks and Hispanics, and he's always done pretty good with Asians. But now he's getting the Muslim vote, a lot of new Muslims, because they want peace in the Middle East. They want peace. And Trump's also getting more Jew vote. For some insane reason, Jews vote for Democrats. I really have no idea why. I really don't. Can't really think of anything off the top of my head that Democrats really do for Jews. Don't know. But hey, we got a big tent. We have a huge tent. Come on over to the Republican Party, the Unity Party, the Make America Great Again Party, the Make America Healthy Again Party. And remember that when you vote, you're voting for RFK, you're voting for Elon Musk, you're voting for Vivek Ramaswamy, you're voting for Tulsi Gabbard. So you're voting for all of these really good people that know what they're doing. And they're going to fix this mess. They're people Trump will be able to trust this time around. So when he first got elected against Hillary, he had a whole bunch of people, because of the media, the rabid media, and the power the media had at the time. Okay, you have to remember, they're not as powerful now. But they disassociated themselves from Trump. Even if they would have been good and they would have liked Trump and worked with him, there was too much pressure for them not to, or they would be over. And some of these people are too weak to just go out on their own without having to have the media support them. So they turn anti-Trump after being an ally of Trump's. John Kelly is a perfect example of that. I've seen interviews with John Kelly where he said nothing bad about Trump, was praising him. Then, after Trump fired him, presumably because John Kelly was leaking to the media, John Kelly decided to write a book. And all the salacious Trump stuff, oh my God. Well, you have to ask yourself, why did he associate himself with Trump to begin with? So, and he's selling a book. So he's full of crap. American public doesn't buy that stuff anymore. Famous pollster and debate coach, Frank Luntz, who is no fan of Trump, said the worst thing that the Kamala campaign is doing is demonizing Trump. Every time she comes out and speaks somewhere, she just badmouths Trump. People have heard that for 9 years now, okay? 9 fucking years. They're sick of it. What are you going to do to fix the country? Oh, we're going to do some things. We're going to do some things. We're going to lower prices. We're going to, how? Oh, that fucking Trump. She doesn't answer. Because she doesn't have an answer. Because they don't care. They're going to do absolutely nothing for anybody. Except pay for sex changes and whatever else the bullshit is. Funding. You think she's going to close the border after she gets elected? No, no fucking way. Nope, it's not going to happen. People should know that. She was in the White House when it was open, and she was responsible for closing it, according to Joe Biden himself. And she didn't. So people vote for her, they're voting for more of the same. And we have almost 90% disapproval of what's going on in the country right now. So with all those numbers, you have to ask yourself, how can she possibly win? How can she possibly win? Well, she's being propped up by the media, who does not have as much power as they used to. And I can prove that to you for my next segment I'm going to talk about. And so she does have the female vote, a disproportionate amount, but Trump has a huge proportion of the male vote. Kamala tried to advertise to white males using Tim Walz and some really hokey, awful commercials talking about how real men support women and feminists and all this other stuff. It was just unrealistic. That's not going to reach the kind of voters that she needed to get. I don't know who decided to do that in her campaign, but young men in this country care about making money. They care about the economy. Sell a good message on that and you will get those voters. You don't go on there and say, yeah, I'm a Kamala man, voting for Kamala. I'd eat carburetors for breakfast. Really stupid, pathetic ads like that. And that's a real ad, that's a real quote. So what you need to do is get the message across through policy. I'm going to fix this for you, young men. You'll be able to buy a house. You'll be able to afford it. Here's how I'm going to do it. You'll have a better job. You'll have a better paying one. I'm going to make sure wages go up. And she has a hard time saying that because you can't really say something like that without saying at the end of it, we're going to fix what's broken. Please forget that I've been there for 3.5 years with the guy who broke it. So there's absolutely no way in any sane world that she would be even close to winning at this point. So that is how divided and polarized we are, that about 1/3 of her vote are just coming from people that hate Trump, either because of the media or whatever. So I've been seeing a lot of interviews online with young people. They talk about Trump being a threat to democracy, January 6th, insurrection. They bought all of that stuff. I know you and I look at it like, come on. But some of these young people believe it, and they're voters. And it matters. That's why they did it. That's why it was done. That's why they had the January 6th committee. That's why they had all of that stuff. So we got the Trump signs across the street. Very nice. A little chilly today. So whatever you do, folks, whatever you do, at the end of the day, just make sure you go vote. The rest will take care of itself, I promise you. Hi. People's headlights are starting to come on. It's getting dark. It's going to look brighter on the camera than it actually is. But it's getting dark fast because there's no sunshine. So we got 7 more days. I haven't decided if I'm going to walk on voting day November 5th, or if I'm going to be watching the media online, not TV media. TV media sucks. But if things are looking good early, I will tune in. Probably might watch CNN this time, or MSNBC, because when Trump wins, I want to see them cry, and I want to see them cry hard. And I know the narrative is, we're not going to know who won on election night. We might actually know that. We're going to know who won in Michigan by 1 a.m., according to the Secretary of State. I explained that in my last walk. Put this around. I explained that in the last walk we took, where Michigan changed their laws in 2022. So this will be the first presidential election with the new laws. And the new laws are that as soon as ballots come in, absentee ballots and early votes, they're going to start tallying the votes early. They're counting the votes already. Now, a lot of people are worried they're going to use that information and cheat with it. And, well, you get Gretchen Whitmer, and you have her Secretary of State there, who on interviews I've seen seems like a good person. She doesn't seem like a fake, rabid liberal. But again, I don't know. But basically, it is against the law to cheat in an election. And there is an element of risk of getting caught. And they passed this new law that's either going to help them cheat, or it'll be about what it was before, and they're just honestly counting votes so voters know who won the night of the election, which is what the referendum was about that voters voted for. So voters did choose that law, they voted for it. That's the democratic process. We have to be good with that. So, right now, Democrats are edging Republicans in Michigan in early voting. And the reason why I bring up Michigan, out of all the battleground states, Michigan was the state that Kamala would have the easiest chance to win besides Minnesota. She's going to win Minnesota. She has, I think, a 7 or 9 point advantage there. So, pending a really big upset by Trump, it should be a solid win for Kamala in Minnesota. Just to put this in perspective, nobody has, Democrats have not lost to Minnesota in decades, several decades. So, Trump almost did. He came close in the last one. Not the last one, but 2016 with Hillary. He came close, but he didn't. He did win Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, however, and North Carolina. That's how we ended up in the White House. So the last election, Joe Biden won Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, all by the slimmest of margins, where cheating would actually work. This time, I think it's going to be a different story. I think Pennsylvania will be close. But like I said, if he wins Wisconsin, which he's got a good chance of winning Wisconsin, best chance of winning it since Hillary was running. Because Kamala's a terrible candidate. She's not polling well there. Trump has the lead. And so, we got all that. That's all common sense stuff we can follow. But I guess what I'm saying is Michigan was the most solid one for Kamala out of what's left. So if Trump wins Michigan, or it's a squeaker and it's real close, he's going to win the other ones. Now, the other thing that bothers me is in the last 52 years, I believe, nobody has won Michigan without winning Pennsylvania. Nobody. So what does that mean? Well, usually it means whoever wins Michigan wins Pennsylvania too. Trump won Michigan in 2016 and he also won Pennsylvania. Joe Biden won Michigan, he also won Pennsylvania. And going all the way back 52 years, and that's the thing with stats, okay? The last time, well, there was somebody at one point that won Michigan and didn't win Pennsylvania. So that's the thing with stats. And that's why I tried to mention the 2004 World Series for the Red Sox. They went down 3-0 to the Yankees. Yes, I mispronounced that on purpose because I hate the Yankees. And they're the Yankees. I won't do the hand gesture, okay? But they were down 3-0 in the ALCS, the American League Championship Series. No team had ever come back, ever, in 100+ years of baseball, until the 2004 Red Sox. So that means Trump can win Michigan and lose Pennsylvania, or win Pennsylvania and lose Michigan. It's just a stat. Conversely, Kamala could still win all these states by some miracle or divine intervention. So, but right now, that's not what it's looking like. She's in real trouble. So, we will stay tuned and watch. I'm going to know more in about 3 days. Finding out she's pulling her ads for North Carolina is a big deal today. Looks like she's going to do the same thing in Nevada. Nevada has not been confirmed yet. But like I said, there is a scenario with the battleground states in the Rust Belt where Kamala can use that 4 points from Nevada, and it doesn't really mean 6 points, I mean, and it doesn't really matter much to Trump. But for her, mathematically it does, because it's possible for her to get in the 260s and need Nevada to get to 270. That is electorally and mathematically possible. But if she pulls up her advertising there, then that means she's going to have to focus on winning Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and not losing Virginia, if you follow what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if Trump is in play for Michigan, which he is, that's the easiest state for her to win. It should be easier for Trump to win Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. That's all I'm saying. And that has been historically an accurate statement. Now, what helps Trump with Michigan is the Muslim support that he has never had before. Not really. The Arabs in Michigan are expected to turn out for Trump in the biggest number he's ever gotten. Now, Michigan has the most Arab Americans, Muslims. Michigan has the most concentrated in one place in the United States. 150,000. There's 500,000 nationwide. How many of these 500,000 Muslims are going to be in Trump's column because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's policies with Palestine and Israel and all this bloodshed that's going on there? Trump just wants peace. He's been campaigning on peace. You know, I don't care about Palestine. I don't care about Israel. I just want the blood to stop. That's what Trump said. Ukraine also. So Trump is the only one preaching peace. And that's a big deal. because a lot of these Muslims come from those areas. They have relatives there, and they're being killed. And they want it to stop. So now they have a weapon. They have a vote. So 500,000 Muslims nationwide, out of the ones in Michigan, of the 150,000, because like I said, it's the largest concentration of them in one state. How many are just not going to vote because they don't like Trump or Kamala? Which, that works in Trump's favor too. So, it would obviously work in his favor more if they'd vote for Trump. But if that's what they're going to do, then it's better off to not just vote for Kamala because it's not Trump, like some other people are going to do. So with that, what I'm saying is, I think you figured out where I'm going with that. The poll I saw was about 50%. Trump says it's 59%, but the one I saw was about 50% are going to vote for Trump. 17% out of that 150,000 aren't going to vote at all. And some of the other ones are undecided. And I think Kamala was around 10 or 12%. Trump said it was 8%, but the poll I looked at was 12. The point being is Kamala has lost the Muslim vote, okay? I guess that's what I'm saying. And it's safe to assume that because I believe the polling is within the realm of being somewhat accurate. A few points either way. So there we have it. I mean, that's what's going on. Trump just needs one of those Rust Belt states. Doesn't matter which one. And if he wins Virginia, he doesn't need any of them. Wouldn't that be something if Trump won this election by losing Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota, and he wins because he stole Virginia? It would give him 275 electoral college votes. Wouldn't that be like the best thing ever? Actually, what would be the best thing is for Democrats to be handed their worst loss since Dukakis. That's what I would love. And Mondale. Oh, Mondale, he won one state, Minnesota. He got 4 electoral college votes, and that's all he got in the whole election. Ronald Reagan swept everything, even Hawaii. Crazy, huh? Well, we're gonna go down this way before the light changes and I get killed. So, we got a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. Hope you're enjoying it. I am. I'm starting to see daylight at the end of the tunnel. Think about all the people we're going to have in the White House that are going to actually be able to get crap done for once, for the first friggin' time in this country's history. Unfortunately, we are going to see rioting. It's going to be organized by the leftist.orgs. I don't know if they're going to start after the election and they announce Trump won, or if they're going to wait until he's sworn in. Have no idea what they're going to do. Now, there have been a couple of prophets, if you're into that sort of thing. I was telling you about the prophet that predicted the assassination attempt on Trump in detail. He gave detail, right down to which ear the bullet injured, and that it was a rally, Trump rally. Hey, 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 calm down. Hi. Okay. Dog's got to chew me up. I had to check to make sure the dog was tethered. For a second, I couldn't tell. I don't want to pull my pistol and shoot a dog. I just don't. I really don't. Absolutely never want to do that. Anyway, we are in this election. It's going along. There's going to be rioting. I really believe that. They can't help themselves. They're not going to take this loss well. That's why I hope, beyond hopes, that Trump not only beats Kamala, but he embarrasses her. I hope he wins the national popular vote. I hope he has a plus 300 super landslide. I pray for all of that. But these prophets, what I was telling you about, predicted the Trump assassination attempt. He's also predicted other bad things, like the financial collapse of the dollar. After Trump is president, he said Trump's going to win. He said he had that in the same vision with the assassination attempt. He talked about his legal troubles. He said that was all going to go away by fall. That's been accurate. He said over the summer they're going to be prosecuting him. They did. So, he has some validity, okay? So, oh, here's some good news. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. I'm going to flip the camera around. We had a lawn over here that had a, and they still have it. Yeah, look at this. They have a RFK sign. We get the RFK sign, and we have the Trump sign on the lawn with the fight, fight, fight. So look at that. RFK, awesome. So, and his two neighbors have Harris signs. The confused people. And we got Trump signs around the corner. I saw those already on a previous walk, the last walk actually. We came from that way, down that way. And then got Trump signs out down that way. We got a Harris one here. Because not everybody can be smart. So, ooh, it's definitely chilly. I'm getting the sniffles. So, anyway, we're getting into crunch time. It's looking good for Trump. And the media is really trying to do a good job of trying to say that Kamala, why are Democrats panicking? Their analyst on CNN was like, why are Democrats panicking? Why? Look, she has a path to win this way and that way. And yeah, but is that the easiest way? No, it isn't. That's if all the polling is wrong and Trump's not leading and they made a mistake in Kamala's favor, which they don't, okay? I mean, what I mean is making a mistake in Trump's favor to help Trump. That it doesn't happen. It's not gonna happen. The only time you saw that is when Biden did that terrible debate. And it was almost like the polling companies got their marching orders to try to force Biden to resign, because that's what the Democratic Party wanted, and that's what happened. So, and I'm sure Biden is still bitter about that. His presidency is tainted, for sure. He's not popular. He's fucked everything up. And his friends in D.C., he's known for 50 plus years, turned on him. And Pelosi's still not talking with him. He's pissed. They forced him out. We're never going to know for sure what they told him, but it's probably, you know, 25th Amendment. If you don't leave, we're going to get you out one way or the other, so you might as well just resign. I think that's what they did to him. Hi, baby. Hi. So, very interesting developments, wouldn't you say, with Virginia? That was solidly in Biden's camp by 13 points, folks. 13. Now, this is what I was trying to talk to people about, try to reason with them. That if Kamala is doing that terrible in Virginia and Washington State and Oregon and all of these solidly easy blue wins where there's like 14-point advantage, 20-point advantage, that has dropped in half with Kamala compared to Biden. So why does that only apply to solid blue states? Why isn't she down like that in the battleground states? It really doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And that's why they're seeing their internal polling and they're panicking. Because it's not the same as the polling we're given. It's not. And Trump has his own internal polling, and he's confident as all hell right now. So they know something we don't know yet. That's why Trump at different rallies has said, I'm not supposed to talk about it. I'm not supposed to talk about it. But we're doing really good. Because if you talk about it, then you break it in the media, all of a sudden, all of these voting liberals, they don't think they have a chance of winning, and they'll quit. They won't show up and vote, which is why the Democrats are not announcing that either. So it's very important to understand that, how that works. And the Trump campaign doesn't want to announce it because it may cause a rush of voting on election day, because a lot of people feel like Kamala is going to beat Trump. And if you come out and tell them from their trusted news sources that they're not, they're going to hurry up and try to show up and vote where otherwise they may not have. So it's a double-edged sword. And I think both sides are playing it cool right now. But that's why I said I wanted to wait 2 or 3 more days, because the Kamala campaign may be forced to come out and say we're losing badly, you have to show up and vote or Trump's going to win. If you don't show up and vote, I'm telling you he's going to win. And that's a double-edged sword for the Kamala campaign, because you might get a lot of people that are disgusted by that and just say, well, I knew she sucked. I knew she sucked. I knew this was going to happen. There it is. And they may be just so disgusted they just don't go vote. So I guess what I'm getting at is right now the Trump campaign's in the driver's seat, I guess is my point. Trump doesn't really have to do much between now and the election. You just wait it out, wait for voting day. Campaign, don't do anything stupid or say anything dumb. Don't have any new October surprises, which at this point I'm not anticipating any, because the way I explained it is they have one news cycle weekend left. It would have to be a big, huge bombshell, and there would have to, here's the key part, there would have to be absolute proof that it's true, all at the same time. And what happens when a news story breaks? We are hearing that this, that, and the other. Anonymous sources, we're going to try to verify it, but anonymous sources say, and then they drag it on for the news cycle for a month, whatever. and hope it gets traction. Well, they don't have enough time for that. They're going to have to come out with something that they can demonstrate as being true. Demonstrate it being true. Demonstrably true. So it would have to be something really bad, really salacious, with absolute evidence. Either video, audio, like the Hollywood Access. And even the Hollywood Access tape, they unleashed that 3 or 4 weeks before the election. So they're running out of time to run a really salacious story, verify it, and actually have it affect voters. Because voters need time to absorb it, mull it over, research it. So it's pretty unlikely, I think, at this point. So basically, they're just going to run on a whole bunch of things that Trump says between now and the election and try to make a story out of it. So that's why Trump needs to focus, not say anything dumb, and make sure there's no issues like that. So rock and roll, man. We're almost there. After tonight, there'll be less than 7 days. Isn't that exciting? Ooh, yeah. So, a couple days from now, probably like I said on the past couple walks, right around Halloween, just before the weekend news cycle starts, I'll have more information and a better formed opinion on whether or not I really think Trump's going to win by a big landslide or not. I'm staying behind right now. I feel comfortable. I really believe Trump's going to win. Right now, everything looks really great. More things would have to go Kamala's way than Trump's. And I'm not seeing it. I'm really not. So if she was an interesting candidate, if she was a real candidate, if she had actual real policies and she was good at campaigning, I'd be very concerned right now. Because for one thing, the polls would be closer than they are. In fact, Trump would have been probably a couple points behind her. And so what people are sick of right now, two things mainly: economy, cost of living. That's the priority right now. Number two is in my opinion, is not immigration, but it's pretty close. And I think third is affordability, which goes with the economy. Affordability meaning high rents, getting a mortgage, getting a car loan, the difference between buying a new car or a used car. And I think that's the biggest concern for people right now. Finances. That's the big one. It's always the economy. That's always the, cost of living. Car insurance is expensive. That's gone up. I've actually had to change my car insurance company I've had for many, many years just to save a few bucks. So I went with somebody more local here in Maine. I don't know how good they'll be if I ever need it, but the law says you have to have insurance. So you have to pay something. So anyway, that's where we are. And this is really getting interesting. I hope you're enjoying following this stuff. I hope so. A little bit of ways to go on the walk. We'll be wrapping it up shortly. We're almost where we started. Basically, I do a big giant 5-mile circle on almost all of my walks. 5 or 6 miles. My favorite walks lately have been 6 miles. The one we did today was Old Faithful. It's one I've walked many times, a few hundred times now actually. And like I said, this is just a walking vlog for exercise. I'm not going on any big adventures. I just like to babble about what I'm thinking about while I'm walking and share those with you. I'm not always right, and I'm not always wrong either. So, but I like it when I am right. So we're coming up on it. We're gonna know what's what pretty soon. And like I said, we may actually know on election night if Trump won or not. That's the good news. Because if he steals Virginia, we're gonna know on election night. We don't have all of this, there's nowhere near the absentee volume we had in 2020 in any of these states. So we should not be waiting until the next day to find out who won, even though that's what they said in Pennsylvania. The way this is looking right now, if Trump wins really big like I'm hoping, we'll know who won on election night. Especially if he steals Virginia. Because Virginia this year is the first presidential election that they use all paper ballots. So this is really good. Now, things we did lose in Georgia. In Georgia, Republicans there said you cannot have a drop box unless it's monitored by video surveillance. Court struck that down. Democrats sued because, you know, they want to be able to steal elections. Really no reason not to do that. Because you film somebody putting ballots in a box, doesn't tell you who they are, doesn't tell you who they voted for. You don't get any information from it. So there's no privacy concerns there. They just don't want to get caught cheating. The other thing is Georgia Republicans had mandated that all of the ballots had to be counted by hand instead of tabulated in a machine. Because the cheating we saw was somebody taking a stack of ballots and running it through 20 times. Making 20 times the amount of votes. And they would take out the votes for Trump and just do the Biden ones. So that's why I don't think Biden won Georgia last time. Because there wasn't only one worker doing that. I think there was a non-collusion, I guess, right? And it was a kind of like non-colluding, just a whole bunch of these attitudes that they have, that I'm here doing this, I have an opportunity to cheat because Trump's Hitler. And I don't think it was a concerted effort with other people. I just think it was a bunch of individuals that added up through the whole state. Because the Democrats have a end justifies the means mentality. It's okay to cheat if the correct outcome happens. Trump is Hitler. It's okay to cheat to get rid of him. You'll be a hero. Thanks. So the end justifies the means with them, which is the problem they have. They did that whole time with the punch a Nazi thing. Remember that? It's okay to assault somebody wearing a red hat with white letters because they're Nazis. In fact, they just had a Nazi rally at MSG, Madison Square Garden in New York, according to the media. And but the bottom line is right now, that's all they have. Still, after 9 years, they can't win on policies. They have to win on feelings and emotion, by pissing people off, by making all Republicans look like racists. They've been doing it for years. They did it with Mitt Romney. which is why I really hate Mitt Romney even more after what they did to him, the salacious things they made up about him. And they lied about his taxes. And after the election, Harry Reid said, you know, how do you feel about the stuff that was said about Mitt Romney and his taxes? You know, how do you feel about that after the election? He goes, well, it worked, didn't it? We won. In other words, it's okay to do that. And this was going back quite a few years. So they did the same thing with John McCain. And they do it with all Republicans. And now they've taken it to a new level because Trump is more powerful than any of them ever before, so they had to take it to another level. And they took it 10 levels above that, to the point now where it's ridiculous and it's unsafe for our democracy. They're actually threatening everything we have. You can't put this stuff away after. You can't say after Trump's gone, oh, well, we didn't really mean to do lawfare. We just had to do it because he was Hitler. That doesn't wash with me. These people had made real enemies for real reasons, and they will not be forgiven. I am never going to forgive these people. First time in my life I hate fellow Americans, and I hate these people for doing that to me. I resent it greatly. You're not supposed to hate fellow Americans, but yet here we are. I have true hatred for them, disdain for what they've done to our systems, our government, our justice system. And, you know, it's not over Trump. It's they want complete power. Trump is a threat. Trump was a threat to their backroom deals, their establishment. And they went through all of this trouble, and the good news is they went so overboard, like I just said a minute ago, they're not going to be able to put that genie back in the bottle. There's no making this good again unless they are beaten, defeated, and some of them go to jail. And I think Trump's going to win the election, and he's going to have the attitude where he's not going to prosecute these people. He's going to prosecute everybody that got caught cheating in the election. I think he's really going to promote election reform, where each state, you can't really federalize elections. The Democrats want to do it, but it's a bad idea because every state is different. But what you should do is lay down, like the Constitution does, you should lay down some ground rules for all states to follow. All paper ballots for everybody. That's it. And the only mail-in ballots can be absentee ballots requested by registered voters, and they have to prove with a voter ID that that's who they are. So I think paper ballots, voter ID, same-day voting unless you do a legitimate absentee ballot, and then that's the best way to do elections. So I think that's what most people want. You know, when you have 80+% of the country thinks people should show an ID to vote, there's no reason as a Democrat that you should not support it. That's 80% plus of the people want voter ID. They think it's a good idea. It puts all of this to bed, all of it. Then you can't say immigrants are voting, you can't say people are doing ballot stuffing. All of that goes away overnight. And we have election integrity, or everybody can trust the election result, whether you like the result or not. Now, if we had fair elections and the guy I voted for lost, well, we lost. We'll get him next time. But now there's this feeling all the time that they cheated because they do things like this. They file lawsuits against everything to prevent common sense. I mean, it tells you that they're cheating. They don't want it fixed. So The Republicans, if they don't win with Trump, they're going to have to start doing what the Democrats do. They're going to have to start ballot harvesting. They're going to have to start doing all of that stuff better than the Democrats do it. And one thing the Democrats do really well is they have a really good ground game. They've been doing it for years. They're well organized. And that's what we need to do until the rules change. So that's why voting early this year was really important. And I looked at the numbers in North Carolina, for example. We're going to wind down this walk. I looked at the numbers in North Carolina, and in North Carolina, more Republicans have voted early than Democrats, and the Democrats would have to outperform even their best voting day they've ever had to win North Carolina. So I like things like that because it pretty much tells me Trump's going to win North Carolina. So anyway, thank you for walking with me. Click like and subscribe, share the content, and we will see you on the next walk, everybody. Have a beautiful week. See you soon. Have a good Halloween if we don't see each other sooner. Bye-bye.